So now that we've set up the record player, we need to get signal from it going into the laptop. So the signal is coming out at a phono signal, which is then converted to a line signal from the mixer. So we saw that as we engage the phono switch. That goes into the interface, which then goes into the laptop, and then the output goes back into the interface into the speakers. So you can already hear that there's signal coming through, but if there wasn't any signal coming through, I'll just show you. We go live file preferences. Now in the audio section here, we've got audio input, audio output. I've set them to my interface, which is Audio Hub, so you can hear the signal coming through. So we create an audio channel, Command T, and we engage to record. There's input monitoring, you can see the levels coming in over here on the right. Now if I press record, you can hear the signal coming through, and you can see the signal here getting recorded, and my voice. So for this tutorial purpose, I've already selected a loop or sample that we will extract from the record. So I'm just going to fast forward to the next section. So now that I've set that there, the beginning of the song there is a little bit of a piano riff that I will record. Recording now. And that's it. So I'm just going to go down here to the section. I'm just going to drag that down to a new audio channel so I can still hear myself in the mic. And we're just going to turn off the vinyl machine, aka record player. So now I'm just going to click on, you can either click on the actual clip itself, and you can work within this window here, setting markers and whatnot. Both works exactly the same way. I just like to zoom in and just find the transients or the starting notes. Yep, pull that back there. There's the next one. Zoom in on that. I'll just increase the volume so you can see the waveform a little bit better. Just need to come in a bit more. Just want to get it right on that note. Yeah, that's good. Just Command E to split, and then Command D to duplicate. So now if we zoom out and click play, we can hear it perfectly looping. So we just pull the volume a little bit down. See the waveform still, maybe 15 dB. Command D to duplicate it. Now you could chuck some reverb on it, you could do all kinds of effects, but for this purpose we're just going to layer it underneath some drums, just to play, I guess, homage to how hip hop sort of sample stuff. So now we're just going to go to audio effects. Just got to raise that window. The first thing we're going to do is clean it up a little bit. So if we just press Command L, we can loop a section. We're just going to put a high pass filter on and get rid of that small rumble you can see around here. It's probably coming, that's just natural distortion coming off the vinyl player. You can hear like a ringing sound. Yeah, there it is. Change the Q, drop it down, pull the 4 up. You still want some of that static sort of, you know, vintage vinyl sort of sound. So you don't want to get too much rid of it, or you sort of defeats the purpose of the sound of sampling, I find. So just gonna find, there's another ringing note I can hear. Yep, you can hear it now. Just gonna bring that in, tighten it up a little bit, widen it tiny bit, just breathe some live a little bit into the mids. Just really hear those notes playing. Now you're just gonna bypass it, and you see the difference. It's like super, like it's literally been recorded off a tape machine sort of thing. And then cleaning it up, you can really hear the notes come in a lot cleaner. Now you can chuck on a compressor. I'm just gonna put a 4:1 ratio. Maybe about 12 milliseconds of attack and about 80, around 80 for release. Just bring it down a little bit. Now not too much, because then the crackling will also become quite loud as well. Turn off the makeup. Bring it up manually. Turn it off. Obviously the crackle's going to come through as well, but you could add some gating to it. So if we just turn that off, and we'll bring a gate in. Gate. Just put this at the beginning. Just turn off the EQ as well. I'll bring it down. Try to get rid of that noise in between. There's also presets you can use. We're just going to set it a little bit and then apply. So just from the gate and the EQ, if we turn this off and this, it's super crackly. Turn the gate on with the EQ and the compressor. It's a little bit cleaner. Still a bit harsh. But then again, that's why you would layer some drums over the top to sort of, you know, wash it out and blend it together. Now it's sounding a little bit, still a bit sort of too attacky, bit too harsh on the ears. So I'm just gonna add a reverb. If say put around 30 pre-delay, 50 wet dry. Sound a little bit brighter. Change that to high. Put the diffusion up a little bit, 1.5 dB. Pull the reflection back a bit. Pull the diffusion network. We can try without the diffusion network, but we'll do it with this first, and then we'll alter between. Turn the chorus off. Turn the spin. Now you can either pull it back to stereo image, so it's in front when you layer the drums, but for this purpose, because it's sort of an ambient sort of sound, we're going to try and make it as much as possible of like a pad sort of filling up the space, or creating the space for the drums to sit in. You're just going to turn up the decay time. You can really hear it now. It's like becoming a bit more of like a dreamlike effect, or dreamlike loop. Now as well, you can go into clicking on the actual audio track itself. You can transpose it. So you can change the pitch going up semitones or going down. Sounds very dreamlike. Maybe pull it down, maybe 12 semitones, pull it down an octave. Yeah, that's cool. It's got a real bit of like an organ sort of taste. Let's see if we pull it down 24. Yeah, that's really cool as well. Really dark. And you could have one at 24, 2 octaves down and one at 1 octave, and then just lay them on or stack them on top of each other. See how that sounds. Let's just create a audio track. Just put in that wrong spot. So Command T for a new audio track. Drag this one down. We'll just layer 12 semitones, so 1 octave, and the other one is 2 octaves. So we just hear them both play out. Super thick than having just the one. So that's a really nice way of just adding, I guess, some, change in tone, thickening it up, making the sound less I guess sampled. So just for this purpose, I've already prepped a section. I'll zoom out down here, pull that up. So just mute these. We'll turn them off. We can gauge the original samples. So on this one, yeah, sampled it up, and then on this one I've sampled it down. Oh no, wait, that's the vocal. So it's got this sort of spooky 80s sort of essentially like a Stranger Things sort of tone ambience going on. I could just picture some drums sitting over it, and then I've pulled vocals from Nas Life's a Bitch, just an acapella off YouTube. And then all the drum loops are from just trap drum packs off Loop Masters, which I've already purchased before. So if you just hear the sample, what I've done on this one, you can see that I've added a gate, done some EQing, added a compressor, added a little bit of saturation to add some more harmonics, added a chorus, give that sort of, I guess, thickening effect in a way. If you turn it off, you just hear that one sort of single note getting played, but when it's played like that, it sounds a little bit not washed out, but it just sits a bit better. And then just a reverb on about 50% wet, so you can hear it sort of looping like that. So if we just bring in something, if we zoom out, we can see a better sort of look on it. So I've just duplicated it enough times and then just saved it as one big file. So we bring in the drums. You can hear it, just it's really cool to be able to sample just from records, tape machines and whatnot. This is the first time I've sampled from a record player. Took me a little bit of get to know what sort of the signal flow was going to be. Watching some YouTube videos and just hitting up as well older crew, asking for advice on what they usually do, and this is what I've come up with. So definitely be something that I'd re-look at again, and probably take a bit more awareness on sampling things from records. The most I've done is using Videotape Machine, but like I said in class, the sound quality on tape or magnetic tape is not so good on like VCRs and stuff like that. But it still works. Still add that sort of vintage sort of grind to it, like I sampled something from some old Power Ranger videos, and put that in a song. So now you just hear it all together. And that is how I've done resampling. So just chuck that. Here comes the hats. We just chuck in the vocals. And then here comes the drop. And that's how resampling is done. Thank you.